Samson, let us proceed with these matters with very calm heads. Very calm heads. You are informed that on 4th September 2023, the police received a notice of intention to demonstrate. This notice was to the effect that on 23rd and to 23rd September, there were demonstrations. And we are informed that the venue of the demonstration was agreed between the police and the demonstrators. Now, the police filed a motion to prohibit the demonstrators from going ahead with the demonstration, which motion was duly served on the protesters. In fact, I've seen a proof of service which shows that a lady received the service on behalf of the demonstrators. That notwithstanding,
the law firm.
Yes, on the law firm, yes. That notwithstanding, we are told that they went ahead with the demonstration, which earlier on was scattered by the police. Now, let us understand certain things. I think every society is regulated by law. That is the reason why we just don't get up to go and demonstrate. Yes, it is correct, legally correct. Article 21 of the Constitution makes it very clear that the right to demonstrate is enshrined in the Constitution. And if I permit me, I will just read for our listeners to listen. Article 21, fundamental human rights. All persons shall have the right to, and D, freedom of assembly, including freedom to take part in processions and demonstrations. So yes, it is guaranteed. I agree with that point entirely. But let's not forget that this right or this freedom to demonstrate is not exclusive. There are clear body of laws regulating how it should be done. That is why a Public Order Act is there, 1934. It tells you how you should exercise this kind of rights. If you want to demonstrate, you have to notify the police in writing. Permit me, I also go to the law, so our listeners also listen to this one. Now, if you look at the long title of the Act, Act 491, it says an act to provide for the maintenance of public order.
It's titled Public Order Act.
Yes, and then the long title is here. An act to provide for the maintenance of public order and for related matters and purpose. It means that when you are demonstrating, obviously you are going to also deny others from also enjoying their right to movement and other things. Safety, security is all part of it. Now, look at Section 1 of the Act. A person who desires to hold a special event in a public place shall, and is mandatory, notify the police of that intention not less than 5 days for the date of the special event. That is one. Now, 2, we notify that you must indicate the place you are going to do it, the nature of the special event, the time of commencement, the route you are going to use, the destination, and the proposed time and closure of the event. And in that instance, demonstration is part of what? Special events. Now, why there's a disagreement between you and the police? This is what the police must do. And that is the 4. Why a police officer notified of a special event under Section 1 has reasonable grounds, to believe that a special event, if held, may lead to violence and or endanger public defense, public order, public safety, public health, or essential services, or violate the rights of and freedom of any other person. The police officer may request the organizer to postpone the special event to any other date or to relocate the special event. Now, here's the case where the police are disagreeing with the organizers on the venue, i.e., the Jubilee House. It is a security zone. And they don't agree with that event. Then they can go and do the event any other place other than that venue. And the organizers decide that they will not agree. Then they go to court to get an application to prohibit the holding of the special event on that particular day. And yet, though they are served with the application, they proceed to go on with the demonstration. I think that These are the areas that I think is a problem with it. Insofar as the law allows you to go and do, what do you call it, go and hold demonstrations. At the same time, you must also know that there are body of laws regulate how it should be done. I will not sit here to say that, well, anybody has been manhandled or whatever, and so I'm endorsing it. No. My concern is that the organizers also ought to respect the law. You ought to respect the law, because I don't understand why, if an application has been served on you seeking to halt a certain activity, you proceed to go on with the activity. That's my difficulty. That's my difficulty. I mean, if anybody says that, well, the police has manhandled anybody, I think then they ought to have lodged a complaint. My check so far reveals that no complaint has been lodged by anybody in any police station that he has been manhandled. So far, that's my checks have been revealed that. If anybody has a contrary intention or a contrary view on the matter, I think they can tell Ghanaians. So I'm saying, I think that in a society such as ours, Ghana, where we are all agreed that we will let the rule of law guide our affairs, we should ensure that the law is respected. Yes, you can go to demonstrations. Yes, you can hold public events, special events, whatever it is. But at the same time, you should not, go ahead and do it when the police say they have an application to injunct what you are going to do, and yet you proceed to go and do it. That is my difficulty with the organizers. And I think that when the proof of service is there, let them come and say that they were not served. But the proof of service is here, and I've seen it. And the lady whose name appears on it, let them say the lady doesn't work in the law firm. And we all know that when your clerk or your secretary is served in your chambers, it's as good as the service being fed on you personally. So there are several times you go to court and a process has been served on your clerk, your secretary. Maybe you're not even aware. The court look at the proof and say, look, do you know this person? He said in your chamber. He said, yes, he has been served. Or she has been served. And that service is good as service on you. So my difficulty is with the way they ignore the service and went ahead with the demonstration. That's my difficulty. But if anybody says that he has been arrested and manhandled by the police or whatever it is, I think that person ought to have lodged a complaint with the police. But my check so far reveals that nobody has lodged any complaint with the police that he has been manhandled or more or less beaten so far. These are my checks so far.
Okay. You have actually not exhausted your 10 minutes, but I can proceed to ask you questions.
Go ahead.
Right. So you say your problem with the organizers is that they ought to have respected the law.
Yes.
Which law do you say they broke?
The Public Order Act.
Which provision of the Public Order Act?
I just cited the four to you.
Right.
Cited the four to you, where the police have reasonable grounds to believe what they should do. In that instance, the police decided to go to court.
Right.
To hold the holding of the special event.
That is so.
A motion is pending to prohibit the holding of the event. It has been served on you or through your office. And then you decide to ignore the service and go ahead to the streets. That is service wrong. Because
that is a violation of law.
Yes.
Which law?
I'm telling you, look, brother, let me give you my law.
Which law is violated?
I've given you section 1.
No, the question is direct. That you have been served with a pending application for injunction. And this is here, we are taking for granted that they have in fact been served.
Yes.
They deny they have been served. The police issue a statement and say their lawyers were served. They deny that their lawyers have been served. You have seen the affidavit of service, okay? I have seen that affidavit of service also. It says that the bailiff, one John Ando, took the process to Atuguba and Associate and gave it to a certain lady, as you mentioned. But they insist that that said lady says he doesn't know about it. But I'm saying, let's take for granted law that, in fact, they have been served and proper service has been effected. What law have they broken by going ahead when the injunction is pending?
But you are now aware that one that there's a motion is pending to prohibit the doing of an act. You cannot go ahead once you are served. You cannot go ahead.
I will never advise my clients that if they are served with an application for injunction on notice, they should go ahead without waiting for that application to be determined.
Exactly.
I will never advise. But my question is, you say they have violated the law. What law have they violated?
Is it not contempt?
Contempt.
Is it not contempt?
Okay.
Is it not contempt that an application is pending? Wait.
Who punishes contempt and how?
It's the court, of course.
Okay.
You have to take an application to the court.
So number one.
Indicate to the court that, yes, a matter is pending before you, yet to be determined. But they have gone ahead to proceed to do the very thing you are seeking to injunct them to do.
Correct.
And so, therefore, the court ought to punish them for contempt.
Correct. So, number one, no law has been broken. And no criminal law has been broken, correct? There's been no offense.
No law has been broken. That's why I have a difficulty with you. Why would the court punish for contempt if the very act you are seeking to injunct, you still proceed to go on with the same act, and the court will punish you?
Okay.
It's because the law has been broken.
Are you saying
yes,
that if you and Honorable Yunusa Hussaini have a dispute over your land,
yes,
and you file an injunction process and you serve it on Inusa, and Inusa continues to develop the land whilst the application has not been heard, police can arrest him?
Well, I'm not saying they can arrest him. That is a civil contempt. I mean, I'm not saying police can arrest him.
They can't, correct?
They cannot arrest him.
Good.
How would they arrest him? I have to move the court with an application for contempt. Now, my lord, while this application is pending before you for injunction to stop him from doing the very act I am saying he should not continue doing, he is still doing it. And so, therefore, commit for contempt. And the court will now examine the facts of the matter, the evidence on the affidavit, if it is shown that at the time when I filed the application, the law was like that. And yet now you have gone ahead to build substantial structure on the land to show that in fact and indeed what I'm saying is true, then contempt will lie against you.
Okay.
Because the very act I'm seeking to stop from doing, you are doing it in clear violation of the pending application.
Okay. So if the police went to court, you expect that they will follow the law just like you and I, we are under the law. They are also under the law, correct?
That is correct.
So why do they choose that some wrong has been done and they must punish and not the court?
When you say they must punish, you mean by going there to arrest them?
Exactly.
Is that what you say they must punish?
Arresting them, detaining them, and charging them with unlawful assembly.
Well, I think that matter, clearly they were trying to more or less enforce the law by themselves.
Okay.
That is the way I will see it, that you enforce the law by themselves. But the fact of the matter is that flip the coin. Flip the coin. The organizers involved in the demonstration themselves, some of them are lawyers.
That's right.
Okay? And they know very well that when you are served with a process to prohibit the doing of a certain act, and then a phone call is placed that don't accept the service, and then they go ahead to go and do the very act you're seeking to prohibit, they know they were wrong.
Okay, so wrong is not crime. I want us to educate our people. And because millions of people are watching this show and are listening, so I want us to help them to get the legal parameters correct.
Right.
There is somebody who has filed, or people have filed processes against the Electoral Commission, against the ongoing voter registration. And they have served injunction applications. The EC chair has admitted that they have been served. They are going on. Are you saying police should be arresting the EC and its officers?
No. It is the applicant. The applicant in the enrollment process who has to file the relevant process before a court to alert the court that something probably is going on that maybe ought not to go on.
Right.
It's a different ballgame altogether.
Okay.
It's not for the police
to
go.
So the court.
Yes.
So the court will punish, potentially, the court will punish through a contempt proceeding. The court will punish the EC.
If we can show.
Yes.
That is, if we can show. And let's be.
That's
if we can
potentially.
Show, if we can show that yes, you have indeed served the process on the EC.
Correct.
You have served the process on the actual person who.
Yeah, the EC admits that they have been served.
I have not heard that.
No, publicly.
They
organized a press conference. Said
they have been served. That's a different matter. I have not heard that they have been served.
They have been served.
But if you can show that you actually serve them personally, and they receive the process, and yet, despite the pendency of your application, they are doing the very thing that they shouldn't be doing, then the court will examine the matter and deal with it.
Okay.
But my contention.
My question to you is that the EC is going ahead.
We are dealing with.
We're using a live case.
Why
We want to use a live case to educate the people. And my question is that the EC has not committed any criminal offense. Have they?
Not that I'm aware of. But what time is criminal?
I get that.
What time is criminal?
It's civil.
It's not criminal.
Yeah, it's a civil process.
Yes.
No, the question is that you have answered it. They have not committed a criminal offense. Their lawyers may have advised them that go ahead, correct? Even though you have been served. Their lawyers can advise them that go ahead, right? I say, me as a lawyer, I will never advise my client that if you have an injunction process, go ahead.
I will sit here and say their lawyers may have advised them. Because I don't know the advice the lawyer probably will give them in chambers.
Okay.
So I cannot sit here and say their lawyers may have advised them to go ahead or not go ahead.
So if they are cited for contempt, it is for the court to determine that they have acted wrongly.
Yes, sir.
If the court determines that they have acted wrongly, then the court will punish them, correct?
That is so.
It's not police that will punish them.
No. It's a court.
And the court will punish them for what?
For violating, a pending application which was before for contempt. That is all.
Thank you very much. I've actually exhausted my extra 5 minutes to question you.